this morning is Chief Lucky Man Igila, spokesman, African Democratic Congress, Rivers State. Good morning, and thank you for coming on Open Conversation this morning.
Thank you very much.
And I also have with me on the show Chuba Opuzo, a political analyst. Good morning, Mr. Chuba, and thank you for coming.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right. And on to the story. PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologun Abbas says the circulated list of caretaker committee members for Rivers State, which he signed and published in national dailies, is authentic. Recall that the list of caretaker committee members for Rivers PDP published in the leadership newspapers on 4th April 2024 shows some additional names and some executive members were not included. Governor Fubara called the list fake and said it should be disregarded. But in a media chat, the PDP National Publicity Secretary says Rivers people should disregard the list that's not published on the dailies and the party's website. The above clarification means that the statement by Governor Fubara is not the party's position. It means that the published lists are the authentic officials of the party. Now, Chief Igila, you are a party man and a spokesman of ADC. What is your take on this back and forth over the caretaker list in Rivers State between the PDP National and Governor Fubara?
Well, I think these are just indications pointing to where and how the elections in Rivers State come 2027 is going to look like, especially in PDP. You know, Governor Fubara is the leader of the party at the state level. And when the National Working Committee met and said they were returning all the ESCO members that were in the party, that their tenure expired, that these ESCO members will pilot the affairs of the party for the next 3 months before they can come up with Congress. We were surprised to see some additional names added. That was where Governor Fubara started reacting. Now, being the leader of the party, if something is going on in the state and he's not aware, it means something is wrong somewhere. So Governor Fubara has every right to react. And I wouldn't say because the spokesman of the party has said A, B, or C that that is the position of the national of the NWC. Because the last I checked, even the NWC itself is polarized and is highly political. They're having internal wranglings. Mr. A is saying this, Mr. B is saying this and that. This problem is not only in Rivers State, other states are having similar issues also. So we are watching actually to see how it's going to play out finally and who is going to win. But as for me, I think they should allow Fubara, who is the leader of the party, to dictate the pace and pick people that he feels can work with him and deliver the party in the states.
All right. Mr. Chuba Opuzo, what is your take on this?
First and foremost, I want to give a sarcastic smile and possibly a sarcastic applaud to possibly very clearly the Minister of the FCT. Because whether we like it or yes, we've seen people from the People's Democratic Party over the period of time who have come out to clearly tell the world that for one injury or for whatever reasons, they're going to sink the party, whether the party likes it or yes. And what is happening right now is an obvious indication that there is a power play somewhere against the supposed norms and traditions as known from party hierarchies and processes. However, it is imperative to note that yesterday, 60 honorable members of the People's Democratic Party clearly made their stance very loud. And however clear their stance were, it simply indicates that whether we like it or yes, if nothing is done from a Maradonic point of view in the People's Democratic Party, this may just be the last of it we're going to be seeing in coming days. The People's Democratic Party is likely not just only to disintegrate, but possibly very likely to completely be annihilated from the political sphere. Because if the 60 honorable members have given you guidelines, on a very serious note, we all have a track record of whatever we do. As an unbiased analyst for this period of time, it is imperative that people already know me with stuffs. And what is my stuff? What I think is right is where I stand, and I say it as clearly as it is. Obviously, what the National Public Secretary just did was just to arouse the sarcastic, funny stance that so many people have been echoing in local parliances analysis, that the People's Democratic Party is supposedly in a way hijacked. You understand that the 60 persons that came out yesterday to say they are giving the parties rooms for adjustment, or else they will have to walk away. Those are not just mean people, and their decisions or their worries are very clear. Now, if in 16 states the People's Democratic Party is having so much serious issues, and you have a docile party chairman, permit me to use the phrase, because politics is not I'm a good technocrat, I know how to manage my business. Politics is a business of communication. With all the tensions and the funny ways and manners things are happening in this country, from the fuel hike to the electricity hike, the party that is supposedly the largest political party in West Africa, and possibly the biggest opposition party known to anybody here in Africa, is so docile and so quiet and doing nothing, then you must understand that either some people are in bed with the villa and automatically are not willing to do what they ought to do, or what their position avails them to do. Then we're saying these internal wranglings. But I will make bold to say that it is time. It is a very good one. It's a welcome development. I have said it before, and I will keep reiterating. The Niger Delta region is a different region as against any other region. And nobody from the Niger Delta region, as a set of people, would like to follow a Lilliputian as a leader. And so the governor himself, Simple Water, has to show capacity from this moment. The tension has risen, it has been quelled, the back and forth of whatever powers that be and tussles have been, the toga has been so raised, and the governor has to rise up to the occasion.
Right.
And at this point in time, I think what he has to do now is to clearly tell the People's Democratic Party here in PDP his stance, and make them clear so that people can know whether they have a party to follow, a leader to follow, or they just keep sitting down, folding their hands, looking docile like the Nigerian state has made the Nigerian people to do same.
All right. Now, if I may ask you, Chief Egila,
Yeah.
party is supreme, right?
Yes, party is
Party
supreme.
is supreme in Nigeria, particularly. Yes. Now, if party is supreme and party dictates what happens in the political party, why is this move by PDP, National Working Committee, getting disapproval in your eyes?
Well, just as he has just stated here, the PDP is actually dying off. To be very, very sincere with you.
Now, you're speaking as a party man.
I am not a PDP person.
You're ADC.
Yes,
so you're speaking as opposition right now to PDP.
I am speaking based on what I am seeing in PDP, happening in PDP.
Okay.
Because we are all party men, and we know that every party has his or her own problems, just like the Labour Party. My own party has her own problems, every other party. But PDP, that is seen as the major opposition party, needs to rise up. Because for Christ's sake, these people have produced lots and lots of people here and there. They have the money bags. They have what it takes to withstand whatever pressure that is coming. So we expected them to put their house in order. But with what is happening today, sincerely speaking, just like he stated, there are some key officials of the PDP that are hand in gloves, that are in bed with the present ruling party. That is why you see that they have not been able to come out to firmly or vehemently oppose some of the economic policies of this present government. Right. Sincerely speaking.
But away from the governance at the federal level, we still want to, narrow the conversation down to
Rivers State.
Not Rivers State. Yes, Rivers State, the caretaker list. Now, you also made a statement. You said that the governor is the leader of the party. Now, if I may ask you, Chief Egila, does the party have a state chairman?
Yes, the party have a state chairman.
What is the function of the state chairman? Or is it a mere nomenclature?
No, it's not. It's not a mere nomenclature. Now, this is politics. Now, when we speak politics, the state chairman is the chairman of the party at the state level.
So why then
however,
is the governor the leader of the party?
The governor is the leader of the party because he is the highest ranking official that is elected into power at the state level. Now, they work hand in glove. But as it is presently, the executive, the office of the elected state executives, local government executives, ward ESCOs have all expired. Now, do not forget that the governor, who is a state governor, is a key player even at the national level. So when they sit at that level and they make a decision, and after that decision something else plays out, the governor has every right to say, this is not what we resolve, this is my state, this is what I want. Reason being that
over the supremacy of the party when he is not the chairman of the party in the state.
Now the contention here is that he is saying the list that was published is not the list that they agreed upon when they met. That is the position of the governor. He said, look, A, B, C, D names have been added to this list. These names are not there. This is my state. You want to add any other list, names to the list, I have to be consulted. I have to be aware of it. So based on that, I don't recognize this list. This is how it should be. And I think Fubara has been, the Fubara we know is not the talking type.
But he has been saying a lot recently.
Yes, because,
don't you think so?
Because he needs to start talking. And I expect him to even talk more. In one of his posts, he said, I just spoke and they are restless. I'll keep talking now so that I'll give them more sleepless nights. Yes, they're having sleepless nights. Because the way it is, the minister of of FCT, who is the former governor of this state, is at the center of everything that is playing out. Okay, you want to leave the PDP, leave. You say, no, you don't want to leave the PDP, you're still in PDP. However, you're in bed with the ruling government. This was the same state that you governed and left. The governor that is seated right now was the one that you brought, fought every other person, use your own executive powers to arrest the sitting and elected House of Reps member and jailed him for more than 60 days before he was granted bail and came out. At the moment you leave, you want to untwist even the sitting governor. You want to decide, you want to rule River State from wherever you are. So it's somehow.
When you say the fingers of you see the fingers of the FCT minister, you know, I would like us to speak factually, because now the back and forth is between the governor and the PDP national working.
No, he is he is also a key player in this whole thing. He's still a party man. Nyesom Wike has not said, I have left PDP.
But I have also
so there is no way we can say Nyesom Wike is not part of all this. He's a party man.
I've also asked you, Chief Egila, does the National Working Committee, does the party at the national level have the right
to decide
who takes care of the states? Now, do not forget, this is not an elected position. It's an appointed position.
Yes.
Can the PDP at the national level appoint caretakers for states and wards and councils, as the case may be?
Yes, based on the recommendation of.
And if they do not agree with the recommendation, because where you're coming in now is it has to be based on the recommendation of the sitting governor.
Of critical stakeholders of the party at the state level.
Now, when you say critical stakeholders,
the state governor is
one of them.
Number one, not just one of them.
So which
means
one. If the state governor is number one, he has to, he holds the decision. So who he recommends is who they.
That is it, because this is his state. Yes, this is his state. He understands his state. Okay, for instance, I want to recommend, I'm the chairman, I'm the national chairman of the PDP, and I want to recommend my brother here to become the caretaker committee chairperson in Lagos.
Yes.
I don't know, how politics is being played in Lagos. I don't know what is playing out there, and I'll just wake up and recommend him. No. Things are not done that way. What is going on is that at the national level of the PDP, serious politicking is ongoing, and if they are not careful, this will be the end of PDP as we know it in Nigeria.
All right. Mr. Chuba, you wanted to say something?
Yes, very clearly. I think if you listen to my
Analysis.
previous analysis, I clearly told you that there are party stakeholders. We call them stakeholders because by virtue of life's benevolence, they have been so blessed by things that have, the kind of politics we have played in Nigeria. And so they have become stakeholders. But we have seen that at some point in time, they became wounded and they have made up their minds that they will either sink the party or, in short, the party has to sink, or else that which they so desire must be one way or the other gotten. And we've heard it on public space, we've seen them on print media and all. Now, like what the question you are asking the spokesperson, the chief has told you clearly, yes, he's a political party man, so he has to be careful about his responses. I'm not. Now, what we are saying, it's a power play. And it's obvious that this present National Working Committee, you know that Yocha Ayu is still in court. However, Yocha Ayu is still in court, so the deputy had to step in. But the constitution is very clear. In the course of such crisis, somebody from the North Central should step in, because you come in, because now the tenure is running concurrently. Whether we like it or yes, this person that has been there as a deputy or as a what's it called, acting capacity, has he proven to show leadership in any form? The answer is a clear no. Like we all have alluded, we have seen the kind of governance we have experienced under this administration or the APC administration. So far so good. But because the National Working Committee, I make both to say that this is what I'm saying, I am entitled to my opinion, as the government has been entitled to opinions of all the kind of decisions they have taken, to say that there are a lot of People's Democratic Party stakeholders and members of the National Working Committee that are in bed with the present administration and possibly the villa. Like the chairman and the spokesperson said clearly, Chief said, how do you juxtapose a sitting PDP stakeholder who wants to be the ones to provide all critical committee list and is working with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of an APC, and do you know the terms and conditions upon which the work was given? Now upon that strength, if you now listen to, don't be offended, don't take the word out of my mouth, just permit me.
Okay.
If you now ensure that this person now provides all the list, and the arrangement is you will become president while I will sit on my seat as a minister. What is then is the opposition doing? What then is the role of the People's Democratic Party? Or is everybody now going to be lying or kowtowing to the Minister of FCT? The answer is a clear no. So like we have all alluded, whether we like it or yes, if the People's Democratic Party and the so-called supposed stakeholders fold their arms and do nothing and want to pretend that they want to say it's an issue between Fubara and National Working Committee, who exactly is the National Working Committee Public Secretary? Let us ask ourselves a simple question. I have said it. Chinua Achebe clearly stated that those whom the gods have helped to break kola nuts should be coming out with some level of humility, because many of the people that have become stakeholders in this country, in the case of politicking, that have not done any business outside politics from the 39 up to today, and have amassed so much and become so powerful, should understand that through the rigors and difficult scenarios that they have created for people, people are still making ends meet. So they should not see themselves as demigods, because they are far from it. They are humans, and like the funny Spartacus movie said, he said, even the day of war, the God King shall bleed. And so we know that every man will fall one day, and when he dies, we will only be remembered for our activities. Right. Ask yourself in the roles, as People's Democratic Party stakeholders, what roles are you playing and what side are you on? And that's the clear case we are finding out. Because if they continue with this list, I can assure you, the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State, first and foremost, will first of all go into oblivion. Because if the governor tells you that it's leaving today, take it or free. People can just be parading themselves. Like I told them, what is the structure you have? When the votes of the people have to be manipulated to give results. If you say you so claim you have structure and you are so much in charge, then you are supposed to blow a whistle from your house and people will line up for you. But nobody has the capacity in Nigeria today. I may go to say this, and I'm saying that we have to tread on the path of peace and not follow this path that people are banding about, saying that they are stakeholders.
Mr. Chuba, quickly, I want to bring something to your attention before we move to the next story. When you were talking about some persons being in bed with the ruling party while they are in PDP, and you also made a direct statement with regards to the FCT minister when you said that he's working directly with the present administration while he's a PDP man and nobody knows the agreements they may have reached. Now, Mr. Chuba, even in the issues of governance, you have always taken the position of inclusivity in governance.
Yes.
Now the question will be, at the end of the day, what exactly does Nigerian people want? What exactly do we want? We need to be clear on what we want. Because if the Bola Tinubu-led administration had only focused on a certain ethnicity or focused on just his party men. Yes, that's a fact. Because when Buhari, when the ex-president Buhari was the president, one of the major agitations within the country, particularly from the people of Southeast, was that a lot of political appointments, a lot of concentration was given to the North. Now you have a president that is inclusive in governance. Yes. And now, regardless, an FCT minister, an ex-governor of Rivers State is being made an FCT minister. The same you, Chuba, that will preach for inclusivity is now saying what agreement has been reached.
I want to be there. Let me take the word away. Let me take the word away from him very quickly, because when I look at the time and I look at the discourse we have, it is disturbing. Because I must tell you very quickly, when we talk about inclusivity, we're talking about a regional thing. Everybody is included. When we talk about Muhammadu Buhari, we're talking about nepotism. Everybody coming from an enclave, from a particular place, to the extent that the Federal Character Commission has to take the president to court, stating the fact that these things are going, your appointments are going against the norms of the nation. Now I want to ask a very simple question: are there no card-carrying members that are faithful of the All Progressive Congress members from the River State? Now you ask yourself, on what merit and on what capacity? Listen, I want to be very straight and very clear. On what capacity and merit that you are talking about inclusivity that is not political, that the ex-governor of River State has been appointed? Is it a technocrat, or is it the one that is working for Julius Berger building bridges? Is it a manager that has managed a very good business to a prestigious level? When you talk about inclusivity, I do not hold sway for anybody, but I want to take it to inclusivity. We had a president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who brought a complete novice, somebody we consider novice in the political sphere, in the person of Professor Bat Unaji. He is a renowned name in electrical engineering. We had a complete novice in the person of Additional that was brought in as Minister of Agriculture. Is a renowned name in that field. We had an Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala that the world respects even up to date. We had technocrats. We had people who had something to offer outside political Maradonic activities. And they were brought into the government. And whether we like it or not, if Nigerians want to be sincere to themselves, we can look back at those days and say, yes, everybody needs more. There's no perfect system. But even at that, we saw a direction and we saw a government that was all inclusive. But what we are seeing today is a completely political mafiazo arrangement of people being settled for one thing or the other. We might want, I've told people, I've never come to analyze anything to be politically correct. I've come to always be conscience driven. And if my conscience is at peace, I keep making this very, very salient and all important statement. Everybody will die one day, but what you will be remembered for in posterity are your activities, your stance on issues. And like we're discussing now, and you're trying, yes, you're a journalist, you're doing your job, but I want to put it very straight to you. We all can be pretending that the Nigerian state is fine and okay. We have just had a 300% increment from 68 naira per unit of light to 225 naira per unit of light. And we say we have oppositions in this country, and people are brandishing themselves, calling themselves stakeholders of the southern part of Nigeria or the northern part of Nigeria in an opposition party. I make bold to say these are people that the gods have broken cannot for, and they do not have capacity to raise one. So on that note, I want to say that we might want to all be politically correct, but these are my opinions.
These are opinions which are very respected, but it's also important.
I wanted to add.
You will still have your say, but yes. I want to ask you a direct question with regards to what he said. When he talked about employment of technocrats, but he directly mentioned the FCT minister yet again when he said, does the FCT minister have what it takes to be given that appointment? The FCT, the appointment of the FCT minister, is it a function of governance or not? Question is, has the FCT minister been working in FCT? Has its impact been felt in FCT? That should be the question. Has its impact been felt in FCT? Has it been working? It's a rhetorical question, by the way. So make your quick answer so we can get to the next one.
The FCT minister has been working in this is in the FCT, but the thing is, the effects of whatever he's doing, what effect is he having on the masses, on the populace in FCT? Because since he became minister of FCT, he has been one protest against him or the other, one petition or the other. This is a man that went to the FCT and said, a land that has been allocated to someone, that the land is too big for that person. And this person has been owner of that land for quite some years.
The FCT minister clarified that and said that he didn't have approval for the land. It is what it is.
The person did not have approval for that land.
Do you have access to government information on that? The answer is no.
Well,
so if he has come out to say the government didn't give approval, that's what it is. But the conversation
I sincerely believe that the former governor of Rivers State, who is today the FCT minister, is very much unqualified to be appointed as FCT minister to serve there. He is a barrister by profession. He is a barrister by profession who has never been to court before. He has never practiced. He's a land pensioner, for Christ's sake.
Aren't there medical doctors who are not practicing?
No, he should show us one business that he has embarked on and has successfully achieved success. That this is a business I started from scratch and I made it and I built this business up to this. He has not done that. I want to go back to the point of inclusivity that you were talking about. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of this country, should point 3 people that he appointed, that he gave appointments in this his government, that are all from the opposition party.
Our conversation is on the caretaker list.
No, I understand.
You are taking it
because when someone works for you, there is always a payment. Now I've been trying to be very, very careful and conscious of what I said. But truth be told, this is outright settlement and it's glaring. Even the blind could see that in an election here, a particular political party won a state, the results were upturned, they went to court. We all saw the outcome of the tribunals. We saw the result, and at the end of the day, a judgment was given when Nigerians were, still sleeping, and they said, "This is it."
Nicodemously.
And they accepted it.
On to the next story. The Attorney General of Ondo State, Dr. Olukayode Ajulo, has said Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has a right of first refusal among all the aspirants jostling for the #1 seat of the state. Right of first refusal is a privilege of being considered first among all the contenders vying for the state's top position in the upcoming Ondo governorship election. He expressed satisfaction with the party leadership and its members in the state for their willingness to adhere to this principle. Ajuro emphasized that Governor Ayedatiwa has been a loyal party member involving party leaders and members in his governance, and he has demonstrated exceptional performance since assuming leadership in the state a few months ago. The Attorney General said democracy cannot be practiced without considering the rule of law, conventions, and established practices. Mr. Chuba, what do you think about Ayedatiwa having rights of first refusal in Ondo State?
I think following it logically, the Attorney General is very correct, but whether you like it or yes, the Attorney General is a beneficiary of Ayedatiwa's government. After all, he's the Attorney General. So if someone else comes in there, the other person might have a better choice or another choice of an Attorney General. Okay. But if Ayedatiwa remains as governor, I think he still has his job. That having been said, it's now obvious to us, like, there's no system that is perfect. And whether we like it or not, politics and its discussions are intertwined. Now you now see why the People's Democratic Party is bringing out list, one person is acting funny. Why? Because in the course of writing a very lengthy or big book and constitutions, there are still lacunas that people will poach. Hence, the pathway to send people out, nefarious characters out of a political party is difficult to know. To state this is what it is. Now, the people of Ondo State should be the people that should be being asked if Ayedatiwa is delivering on his mandate as the governor. Yes, if they say yes, then we'll talk about whatever. Like you talked about inclusivity. Now, are they going to be asking if PDP people or Labour people how Ayedatiwa has been faring on a party matter? The answer is a clear no. Now the governor is seated there. Ayedatiwa has a right of first refusal, but now you see that the contenders for this office are big weights, because Ayedatiwa was a deputy before, and possibly to a large extent nobody saw this demise of Akeredolu coming, so he was possibly not even in the picture. But like if you go and check the meaning of his name, I think it might give some insight to the fact that life is just what it is. So for me, I think the Attorney General is a beneficiary of the government, and so his statement is in line. But I think it still overs on political leadership, and what we are lacking as Africans in all its forms is leadership. So I just hope that they have the right leadership to manage the crisis that is forthcoming.
The crisis that is forthcoming.
Yes.
Okay, that's a liner. Now, Chief Lokiegila, Chobapozo here is anticipating a crisis in Ondo State's Guba primaries. Now, having observed the Ondo State political landscape and what has played out, starting from, when the late Akeredolu was sick to his demise, and the controversies that surrounded Ayadetiwa's emergence as the governor, and the subsequent reaction of Betty, the wife of the late governor, to Ayadetiwa, it's clear that there are two factions in Ondo State right now. The Aketi faction, that's the name they call the late Akeredolu, and the Ayadetiwa faction. The Attorney General is saying that Ayadetiwa has done a good job of, galvanizing people, carrying people along. As a politician and a party man, do you agree with that? If he actually galvanized and carried people along, why do we have factions in Ondo State? And then, do you foresee a crisis like Chuba has predicted?
He did not predict. He just stated the obvious. There is crisis.
There is crisis.
There is crisis. This crisis has been on for quite some time now. When the former governor was alive and was sick and was, always out of the country on treatment here and there, the issue of transmitting power to the deputy governor became an issue. And people complained. I spoke about it on this show 3, 4, 5 times. People were complaining, look, young man, you're sick. Why not just take care of your health? Let the deputy governor do what he was supposed to do. Now, at the point in time when the governor came back and took over power, immediately the House of Assembly started proceedings to see how they can even impeach the deputy governor, who is governor today. They fought him. The battle has been on. The state is factionalized. And it has been on for quite some time. Now, as luck will have it, the governor is no more. He has been sworn in because constitutionally that is what it has the right thing to be done. So today he is governor, and those people that have been fighting are still there fighting. But I beg to disagree with the position, although it's his personal opinion, of the Attorney General, who is saying that the sitting governor today has the right of first refusal. No, it's a party thing. It's a party thing. The party will have to look inwards and say, okay, let's go for primaries. Everyone has the right to run for primaries, yes, to vie. And if he comes out victorious, fine. But for one to begin to say he has the right of first refusal means, okay, since he's there, let's just give it to him. No one should come. No, that's wrong.
Labour Party did that for Alex Oti. They said Alex Oti has the right of first refusal in Abia State, and then there is an automatic ticket for P2B, the former presidential candidate in 2023.
There are reasons why they did that, and I'll tell you why. In politics, it's not everything that people just come out and say publicly. There are internal MOUs most of the time that have been signed, and agreements that have been reached quietly, gentleman agreements, and some persons are so gentle that when the time comes, they, based on their, because of their integrity, they keep to those agreements to say, look, we agreed upon this, it has to stand. Alex Oti has done a lot. Even before he became governor, he has shown, he has proven that he has the capacity to deliver. So they said, okay, this is the best we have. Because we have all seen that this is the best we have, every other person that wants to complain, back off. Let's all give him our support. So they came on air, they said it that he has the right of first refusal. They supported him, and today he's governor and he's doing fantastically well. So when it comes to Ondo State, I think the sitting governor should make sure that he delivers.
Okay.
You must show working. You must show that you are a governor that is willing to carry everybody along.
Has he been able to galvanize
That is the
support at the
issue.
grassroots level. If he has not been able to galvanize support at the grassroots level, do you even see him emerging?
Okay, now let me tell you something. Now, we are talking about deputy governors now. In Edo State, a deputy governor was just sacked. I know that we are going to come to that story. Shuaibu was just removed by the impeached by that by that assembly for fear of him, because he is so strong. He is very much on ground. He's a grounded politician, and they are scared because even the sitting governor today knows that this man, if he has the capital that goes with it, he will win the election. No matter who I bring, he will win the election clear.
Right.
So the only thing he can do is to fight him and fight him and fight him and push him more money into the system to make sure that the House of Assembly succumbs to what he was saying, and he's finally impeached, though with a very slim margin. He's been impeached.
Well, we are not talking about Edo State government. We would have looked at the implication of that move in the upcoming elections in Edo State. But then, on to Labour Party. Stakeholders on Monday approved the setting up of Transition Committee to oversee the affairs of the Labour Party and conduct national convention within 3 months. The names of members of the Transition Committee, which are from different segments of the society that make up the Labour Party, are expected to be announced after the Eid al-Fitr holidays. The resolution to set up a transition committee for Labour Party was taken at the stakeholders meeting convened by the Nigeria Labour Congress Political Commission in Abuja. In a communique issued at the end of the meeting, the stakeholders described the purported national convention that was conducted in Nnewi, Anambra State as inconsequential and null and void. Let me start with you. Chief Egila, what do you make of this take by the Nigerian Labour Congress Political Commission? That's on one side. Now, secondly, does the Nigerian Labour Congress, as a trustee or as a parent body, like the claim, have the right to, bring up a caretaker committee, and in this case, a transition committee to conduct national convention, and also nullify the election of Aburi, the current National Labour Party chairman?
Well, I really do not know much about the NLC and the Labour Party. All I know is that Labour Party has an NWC that's at the helm of affairs, and they've been in court for quite some time based on Aburi's chairmanship and everything. Now, I'm yet to get copies of the judgment of the court, because I know that judgment has been passed.
The judgment was passed, and it was between Apapa and Abure, the
yes.
Apapa faction. The judgment was passed, and Apapa lost. Abure was recognized by the court as the chairman of the Labour Party, and Apapa was asked to pay a certain fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, in that instance, if the convention that they just held was conducted by the Abure-led NWC, then one might say it's authentic, but every political party has one or two issues. It all depends. Did Abure consult the stakeholders of this party?
Now,
were everyone on the same page with him? Did they have an NWC meeting to agree that A, B, C, D should be done before he went ahead to conduct? Because issues like this will only come up when people were not consulted, certain persons were left out, and you just decided that you want to take a unilateral decision. That is only when these issues are going to come. Now, every party also has her own constitution.
okay.
Like I said, these are internal party issues that when they get to court, the court will have to look at the constitution of the Labour Party and see how it conforms with that of the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
If there are no
conflicts,
areas of conflict, based on that, the court can now say, look, this convention that was conducted at ABCD venue is declared null and void. They have said what they want to say. They are not the court of law.
Okay.
He said that yes, Abure has also done whatever he wants to do, and he also has his own opinion. He will also go ahead. Either we meet together and take a fresh decision together and come out strong to say, okay, we have resolved we are accepting this or we are going back to setting up of the caretaker, like they said.
All right.
We are still waiting for them to come out with the list.
Okay. Mr. Chuba, what do you think of this development in Labour Party?
First and foremost, I want to say that it's an embarrassing show of shame. Whether we like it or we don't like it, this is what it is. It is a pity that the local parliance analysis has become our reality by the day. We would argue, like under the previous administration, the word alleged became very loud.
Yes.
Everything you see, you know that as I'm here today, tomorrow it's going to be an alleged that I was here. The reality of me being here might be forgotten but completely washed away. Now, the local parliance analysis and speculations that Joe Ajaero has the intentions of contesting for president come 2027 that has led to some equally filtering information filtering to the air that the very respected Peter Obi might be walking out of the party in no time. I think it's playing out on a daily basis that yes, there is a sinister plan somewhere from some persons. But that not forgetting, you try to make the allusion to the Bible reference, the hand of Esau but the voice of Jacob. And we are beginning to see the hand of the APC in almost all the parties that have a structure that can be possibly an opposition or give a competitive opposition in 2027.
You're making an allegation, don't you think?
I am making it's an analysis.
All right.
And because of my analysis, I'm alluding to opinions and views that have been shared.
Okay.
So that people can be guided to make a better, a more informed decision on these issues. So we're not leaving any of the stones, we're trying to turn them all. Now, ask yourself, from the Lamidia Papa funny emergence that was trying to stifle the Aburi structure, ensure that there was a problem. Some people came out to analyze the public space. Do you know why Peter Obi did not win? The party did not have structure. They lost. Well, we know the structures. We are not party members, but we stood in polling units and ensured that the votes were counted, and we won in those places. But at the end of the day, the result that was released in those places showed something else, and we said it's not true. We went to the court. Like the chief clearly stated, we are in a system and a time where we are not going to the court with our futures. I'm able to say to the judiciary, it has to purge ourselves. The Nigerian state is in comatose. There is a maratonic demonic arrangement somewhere where the people's intentions and choices are completely not what they see, and it is a way. There's a way government entrenches it. Today now, after they have left their Lamidi funny story, Aburi's house caught fire. While they went for convention, they saw people that came out to say Labour Party is a subset of the Nigerian Labour Congress. So Nigerian Labour Congress, as ruled by the Justice ruling in 2020 or 2018, as the case may be, is the only what's it called? How they call it? Trustee to the Labour Party. So upon that strength, all that was done in a way is completely eroded. Aburi has to answer to forgery. Who they have to do forensic and all of that. Look, you and I know that whether we like it or not, like Chief said, there's a party constitution. All of this will be dragging to make the supposed strong oppositions weak. We are seeing it already playing in the PDP. It is playing in the Labour Party. Many other parties are all, whether we like it or not, are sectional. And like we have said, I've alluded on this medium and on all other mediums, there are many political parties at 4 years appearance. When it's election time, they will come, they will share money for them. They will stand in their polling unit. Okay, this is our party logo. We are standing here, we are not standing there. I'm looking for miracle to win one seat. Now, the parties that seem to have anything like a structure or have something to work upon like a structure, all of a sudden are all having serious issues of this nature, whereby we now know that we know the kind of court judgment we have received lately that have been very scary to the Nigerian populace. So for me, if there is, I make both to say with my fingers pointed out, if there is any intention of Joe Ajaero or his cohorts to be contemplating to contest for presidency in 2027 under the platform of the Labour Party, what happened in Imo State to be a thing of the iceberg? Because I can bet you, we will not allow rallies to happen in Nigeria, because where we are today, we will just allow the government that is already in power to just have a fair day, because that's what I think. I have said it and I'll keep making this statement. A lot of people consider themselves stakeholders, maybe by age, but impact is completely off it. because all their stakeholdership as a result of political benevolence, supernatural hand of God breaking nuts for them over and over again. Because many a times when you look at the people that are contesting or coming out to come and tell us, they want to give us guides and directions on matters, we need to ask yourself, what field of endeavor have they stood out? So whether we like it or yes, I think this thing happening in the Labour Party is so unfortunate. And I think even other stakeholders from other political parties or that are not party oriented should come into this matter and see how they quell it so that we have hope tomorrow. What we are seeing today, hope is already gone. We are only having little hope, thinking that 4 years is not too far. Or we have little hope, thinking that there's going to be amendments here and there. But if they dare to dash our hope too soon.
Well, when you said that other stakeholders, probably from other political parties and within, should come into this matter, this crisis going on in Labour Party, and see how they can quell it. The question would be, are the parties interested in making peace? Now, for example, P2B once came out to say that he advised Abure not to hold national convention without, consulting the stakeholders. And after that advice, Abure did not take that advice and went ahead to hold the national convention. Even the convention initially was fixed for Abia State, then it was removed and then changed to Newi in Anambra State. And after that convention, INEC came out to disown that convention, stating that constitutionally they were supposed to have been notified, I think for 21 days, giving 21 days notice. But in this case, the Labour Party didn't notify them. They just went ahead with the convention. So INEC came out to disown that. Do you think at this point, even the leadership of Labour Party will be open to advice, will be open to admonitions, and will be open to moves for reconciliations?
Like I earlier stated, and I will start from there. We are beginning to see pockets of problems in almost all the political parties that are seemingly having anything called structure to stand an election going forward.
Okay.
That being said, now when you look at, permit me to make this statement on live television. INEC had not conducted herself in any manner that people like myself should applaud or take her seriously. We have seen events where we were opportune to be observers in an electionary process, INEC officials being there, and at the end of the day they said the election did not hold and it became an alleged election. So I don't want to go into all of that, but what I'm trying to say here is this. Now we talk about Peter Obi's stance on his advice to Abure.
Yes,
you now begin to ask yourself, who is the stakeholder? Because if you say the stakeholder is Chuba and Chief, and now you that is Abure says the stakeholder is not I and Chief, it's some other set of people, because all the people that went to that convention will still call themselves stakeholders. So in Nigeria today, everybody has opportunity to be in a side.
It's a stakeholder.
So what I'm just saying is, a lot of people come out to say Leonard colleagues, and many of these people we are looking at are lawyers. So you now begin to ask yourself, who is trying to fool who? So whether we agree or not, the situation we find ourselves today, yep. I want to just believe that there should be a miraculous wind where the Labour Party will find herself, the Democratic Party will find herself, even the APC will find herself, and all the other political parties will find themselves and work out the structure going forward.
Okay. Chief Egila, in 30 seconds, please.
I am actually scared for our politics in this country. Truth be told, like he asserted, all the strong opposition political parties are dying off gradually. It's either there is this crisis or that crisis.
Okay.
They are being weakened by the day, and if something is not done fast,
all right, it's a sad end.
2027 will be a walk away.
All right. All right, this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. Thank you so much, Chief Lucky Manigila, for coming on Open Conversation today. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you, Chuba Opozo. It's Always a pleasure having you on Open Conversation.
Thank you, my pleasure.
All right, you can always follow us and stay connected on all our socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia Choma. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira, she wants out to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the done thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains,